Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Monday, going into a new week, Monday, May the 4th. Let me get this video pulled up. It's going to take a second. Today, we're making the flying geese up and down. This is going to be a 12-inch quilt block, and all the pieces you need are here on the screen. Hello, everybody. Hello. So great to see you. Yeah, the flying geese up and down, we're going to be making 8 flying geese units today. I'm using the same colorways as what you see on the screen. I'll tell you, since we did the Grandmother's Cross quilt block, I really fell in love with that color combination. I'll probably be using this color combination in a couple blocks coming up, because I really fell in love with the pinks and the browns and the neutral like beige colorways. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so that's the colorways. You could use the 4 colors. You could use as many colors as you want, right? There's no rules with your quilt block today. If you want to use 6 colors, by all means, yes, do that. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Pauline. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Today we have, wow, we have quite a few this or that's. They're all based on the our sleeping habits. So that's the theme for the this or that's for today. Jennifer, you made it to the live stream. I'm so glad. Kim, you have a severe storm going on. Yeah, if you have to power down and come back on the replay, do what you need to do, right? I don't like using electronics during severe storms, that's for sure. Hello, everybody. I'm giving everybody a minute to come on in and get settled down. I know several of you are making your blocks along with me today. And then several of you are just hanging out and checking out the block, and you'll make it later, right? Or maybe you're just watching and you want to just chat and socialize. Yes, by all means, do that. And maybe this block will be something you want to make 5 years down the road, right? You never know. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you. So yesterday I showed some examples of what you could do with this quilt block. Here's 3 different arrangements. My favorite one is the one in the middle, but they're all pretty fantastic, right? I want to thank my moderators. Thank you so much as we get started today. That takes off so much pressure. Thank you so much for keeping an eye on our chat and keeping it a fun place to be. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Wow, it's 12:11, so I can tell my stomach's telling me it's lunchtime. Oh, it's so great to see everybody. Thank you for spending part of your Monday with everybody here. Do you have a heart block planned sometime soon? I saw a really interesting heart block on the Creative Crew yesterday, and I was considering that one. But I've written down in my notes. So yeah, we'll do a heart block. So yesterday we talked about this. In case you have to leave early and you missed yesterday's video, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on the screen. Usually at the end of our lives, we show the blocks and pieces for tomorrow, for the next day. But we talked about yesterday that we're going to take a little bit of a trip, right? And so there's no live tomorrow. So write down these dates. Saturday, May the 9th, this coming Saturday. We're coming live here on YouTube at 12 p.m. I'm going to give you information and piece counts and sizes for 6 blocks on Saturday. And we'll hang out on Saturday. We're not doing any sewing on Saturday because Sunday, May the 10th, we're going to have a blockathon to catch up on the blocks that we're missing a Tuesday to Sunday. We'll do Sunday's block as well. So that's 6 blocks. We're going to have a sew-a-thon. That sounds exciting. A blockathon. I'll have my snacks lined up because who can go that long without having a snack, right? So yeah, you can plan out, you have several days to plan out your blockathon, what snacks you're going to have. And Saturday, I'll give you all the pieces for those 6 blocks. So you'll have all Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday morning to get everything prepared if you want to sew along with us live. Yes, I appreciate my moderators. Wow. I'm going to tell you, one of the things when I first started going live here on YouTube was the thought of not having a moderator and trying to do a tutorial without a moderator really made me anxious because, y'all, I watch a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of them, they go live. And I've heard a lot of stories of the nonsense that happens sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes some nonsense can happen in the chat area, right? So doing those earlier lives on my channel I was always like really scared that someone was going to crash our live and cause a bunch of chaos. I don't have to worry about that. We have some awesome moderators and I appreciate them. Catakip, you love how the subject of food seems to come back every day. Did you see my shirt? I'll stand up for a second. Body by Chips and Guac. Yes, so here's the days to write down. And then you're going to have a few days to catch up, right? If you just came in halfway through the series and you've been working your little fingers, busy trying to catch up, you're going to have a few days to slow down and really enjoy making the blocks to catch up, right? Or you can take a little bit of a breather and get yourself ready for Mother's Day. Pat, you've already changed your schedule. Well, I hope you didn't change it so much that you're missing out on anything. Of course, we want you here. We would love it if you're here, but I don't want you to miss something else to do it. Donna, the moderators, every once in a while, and it's happened a couple times in this series. Today's video number 42. It's happened a couple of times where other channel creatives on YouTube will come in and post a bunch of messages. Come subscribe to my channel. Come subscribe to my channel. Over and over and over and over again, and it just floods your live chat. Or sometimes they say inappropriate things, right? Sometimes that happens, but the moderators can take control of that and delete the comments, put them in a timeout so they can't keep doing it. They can control that for me. All right, you're not missing out. You just change stuff around. Okay. I don't want you missing out on anything that you already had going on. Oh, Susan, you've been watching videos of the junk journals. Yes. Oh, they're so much fun. It would be great to have a PDF of all the patterns. Well, Susan, there's a PDF, and it's a couple videos ago in the description box where I gave you a 3-page PDF of all of the blocks printed out. So if you're keeping track and making your own book, then you can print this out and put a colored picture of each one of the blocks with your own notes. In order to keep these videos free, which right now free is good, right? I'm not releasing any paid patterns during the shutdown. People aren't working, right? People have been out of work and things are weird right now. So in my business, I'm not releasing anything that you have to pay for. in order to keep everything free, I've encouraged everyone to take notes, right? Because I give you everything you need for today's block here on the screen. And you can make up your own little spiral notebook, jot down the pieces. You can get the PDF that's already out there and print off colored pictures of the block and put that with your own notes. If I have to take the time to compile a PDF for everything, then yeah, that's a lot of time, and I'd rather you take the notes and let's keep it free, right? And I didn't design these blocks. I don't want to charge for them, right? But if I have to spend the time to type everything out in a PDF and keep it all organized, then, you know, your time is money, right? So jot down some notes, get the free PDF, print out the blocks, and then we don't have to chart. We can do this for free. Right now, free is good, right? Free is good. Ah, you're up to date on all the patterns. Excellent, excellent. And there's so many creative ways to compile a book of all of these blocks, right? All right, who's ready to start sewing together the Flying Geese unit? I'm going to switch my screen so that you can see my pieces all on the board. Let me get that right in the camera. There we go. I'm using the same colorway. Oh, for the upcoming blocks. Yeah, I haven't done the math yet. I haven't done the math. I haven't, because we just decided this yesterday. I haven't had time to sit down and pick out what 6 blocks we're doing and then do all of how many pieces you need and all that. That takes some time. That's why I'm bringing my laptop with me so I can work on that in the next couple of days and get it ready. I'll give them to you on Saturday. I know that's a little last minute, but you'll have all day Saturday, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. Donna, it's in one of the videos. I forget which one it was. It's within the last 7 videos. In the description box, there's a link. You can click on that and print off the PDF. I forget which one that was. I did, Debbie. I saw her journal that she's making with the cover. That is so brilliant. Ah, the PDF stops on turnstile. That was the block that we did. So the turnstile block, that's the video you need to open the description box up. And then you can download the PDF. It's 3 pages. And it's got like the first 36 blocks, I think. And I did post a link to it in the Creative Crew group on Facebook. I'm part of a couple of those groups, and I love watching all of the creativity. And I fall in love with each and every journal that they post. That's crazy. All right, everybody. I'm thinking I got everybody's questions, right? I think so. Here's my pieces for today. I loved the grandmother's cross right there, the pink and the brown and the beige. This time I went with a little bit of a different pink, but I still love this colorway. I still love that. So that's the colors that I'm using today. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. If you have questions and I missed it, if you type it back out, maybe put it in all caps, it makes it really easy for me to see. To begin this quilt block, we have a little bit of work to do. We have 8 3 3 3/8 by 3 3/8 squares. We're going to start with those. We have 8 of them. I have mine stacked in groups of 2. So I'm going to go ahead and line those up right on my mat, corner to corner on a line. With these pieces, we're going to cut them one time. Two, four, six. 2, 4, 6. Do I need 2 more? I thought I had enough. 2, 4. I've got to cut 2 more. Oh my goodness. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I need 2 more. You're going to have a minute to cut yours apart because I've got to cut 2 more of these bad boys. I thought I had enough. All right, we're cutting them right down the middle, cutting them right in half. Just like that. And y'all are going to have to be patient with me because guess what? I have to cut out 2 more of these blocks. Let me get this iron heating back up because I might have to press some fabric. Give me 1 second. Oh, goodness. Here we go. I'm going to cut out 2 more pieces. I'm just going to flip that right over. Flip it right over. Press it a little bit. And I'm going to cut 2 more. So you have a second to cut your blocks in half. 1, 2, 3, and 3/8. 3 little marks. That's the 3/8 mark. Let's flip it around. Line it back up. And cut the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 3/8. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to cut those in half, corner to corner. That gives us what, 16 little beige triangles. Hello, Miss Kayla. Hello. Next, we're going to bring over, let me make sure I got the right number of those. Yes, 2 blocks that measure 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and we're cutting those pieces 2 times. So we'll make our first cut corner to corner. There's our first one. And then we're going to flip this right around, line it back up. And we're cutting these pieces 1 more time. That'll give us 4 larger pink triangles. Of course, your colors might be different. All right, there we go. 4, 8. 8 larger pink triangles. I really like the color of this pink. I don't think it shows up right on the camera, but it's really pretty. So that's all of our cutting for today, our pre-work. Gonna give everybody a chance to catch up. I'll scroll through and see if we have any questions. I really hope that you're enjoying this chatting time. Oh, good, Sharon, you were able to do that. That's awesome. Thank you, Barbara. When I hear myself laugh, I think I sound kind of dorky. Have you checked out Stitches by Julia? Yes, I'm a subscriber of her channel. I love her channel. I love the way her mind thinks. She does some really fun stuff. So if you haven't checked out Stitches by Julia on YouTube, you should do that. She does a lot of free motion work, right? Stamping on fabric, coloring, painting on fabric, and stuff like that, and then stitching it. Yeah, I like the way her mind works. Can you give the sizes for individual blocks during construction? Yes. Yes. When we start putting together these flying geese units, I'll measure them and let you know how big they are. And then as we join this block together, I'll take some measurements along the way. You might have to remind me. You might have to remind me. Sometimes I forget. It does look more orangey than pink. It's kind of like a salmon in real color, like in real life. All right, let's start laying out this block. Let's start laying it out. We have a lonely little white 2.5 by 2.5 inch piece. We have 4 pieces that measure 2.5 by 5.5, and we just cut and created all of our little triangles. So let's do the easiest part first. Let's put this little white block right in the middle. How many times have you changed your blade? What kind do you order? I changed my blade like on video number 7 or 8, somewhere around there, because my blade was so dull, and then I haven't changed it since. And I will use this blade till it does not cut. I don't change my blades probably near enough. And I'm not quite sure that I want to recommend the brand that I use because I'm undecided on it yet. But Fiskars makes some great blades, right? If you have a favorite brand of cutting blade that you use, maybe you can make some suggestions here in the chat. We're going to go ahead and start with our this or that. They're all sleeping related today. Sleeping related this or that's. So, do you sleep with the TV on or the TV off? Your strips that measure 2.5 by 5.5, we're going to just put them right in the middle. They're going to form a cross right in the middle of this block, breaking up each one of the sections. The bigger pink units, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah. It's like, that doesn't look right. They're going to go just like this. On this half, they're going to be facing up. That might be your down. Because everything is flipped in reverse. And then on this other section, they're going to be flipped the other way. So for me, they're going down. For you, they're going up. Flying geese up and down. Then we're going to fill in the empty spots with our beige triangles. So if it makes it any easier, your triangle has 3 sides, right? There's 2 short sides and then there's the long side. The long side is what connects to the pink triangle. So if that makes it any easier when you lay out your pieces, the long edge goes towards your middle triangle. I'm kind of loving these colors. I kind of like them. So that's going to take a minute to get them all laid out, and then we're going to just take a little break so everybody can catch up. Like this, like that, like this, like that, and two more. And I know it looks crazy now, but we have all of our seam allowances in here, right? So it's going to look a little crazy, but it's all going to come together in the end. Yes, I love these colors too. I don't know that there's a huge contrasting difference between the pinks, what you see on the camera. They might have been, it might have been better actually if I would have used a darker pink, but I love it. That's really what's important, right? Do you love your quilt block? Do you love the fabrics you're using? That's the most important part. Thank you so much, Miss Jerry, for doing the math for the flying geese units. Jerry loves the math. I'm not a huge fan of the math. Jerry loves it though. So here's the layout for our pieces. Make sure, go ahead and set your machine to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Go ahead and do that. That's so weird, Sherry, that you never get notified. I hear that from a lot of people. I don't know why Facebook doesn't send the notifications. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and start some sewing. We have a little bit of sewing to do with this block. So let's break it down like this. We're going to flip the same triangle over for each one of these pieces. And it doesn't matter if you start on this side or you start on that side, because it's going to be the same process. Just flip one of those triangles right over. What's really important though is that when you flip it over, this longer side of the pink, when you flip your beige triangle over, you're going to want to match up that raw edge at the bottom of this triangle. So it doesn't matter which side you do, but you're going to want to pay attention to this bottom edge. And I'm going to go ahead and just do some marks, because that's what works for me. This or that number 2. This or that number 2. Do you like a soft bed or a hard bed? I think we might have asked this one before. Do you prefer a soft bed or a hard bed? We're going to go ahead and sew 4 seams with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to get those done. You will have an extra tip that sticks over the edge of your pink triangle. And I'm using black thread so that my seams show up. Ordinarily, I would not be using a black thread to sew these lighter fabrics, but I want it to show up for the video. So we're going to go through each one of these, get them all lined up and sewn. Somebody said they had a sleep number bed. I think the last time we asked this question. And I was so jealous because I prefer a softer bed, but Harlan has back issues and he has to have a more firm, harder mattress. With a sleep number, right, you can choose, divide it up, a soft and hard, right? I would love that. I like a softer mattress. All right, we've got two more. Two more. Get lined up there. All right. I have a long string of triangles. I'm going to snip them apart. Make sure my iron is warming up. I'm going to snip these little connecting threads. Sometimes I trim off the little dog ears, but when I'm doing flying geese units, I'm always scared to do that. So I'm not trimming off any little ears. You can go ahead and do that if you want. I'm going to leave them on there. Just separating each one of these. And when I press my seams, I'll be pressing them towards the smaller triangle. Just like that. This or that number 3. Do you like sleeping with one pillow or lots of pillows? I'm a one pillow person. Harlan likes 5 or 6 or 7. And what's funny is that at some point through the night, they all migrate to my side of the bed. And I wake up and I can't move. All his pillows migrate over. But yeah, I'm a one pillow person. Do you like one pillow or lots of pillows? We're going to start pressing each one of these seams and bringing them back over. Now we do have several pillows on our bed, but most of them get tossed to the floor before we sleep. They're not really like sleeping pillows. He sleeps with like 5 pillows. somehow they turn into my 5 pillows throughout the night. All right, let's see, we're just bringing each one of these flying geese right back as I get them pressed. It's going to take me a minute. Gonna take a minute. Isn't it funny how we're all different? Let's see, that one can go there. That one can go there, and I have one more. All right, so we're halfway through making our flying geese units. Halfway through making our flying geese units, I've got mine pressed. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over, and then we're going to take just a small minute so you can catch up. The next step, we're flipping the opposite triangle right on over. Make sure this bottom raw edge lines up when you bring them to the sewing machine. Just like that. And like that. And like that. And just for giggles' sake, I'm gonna mark them. Sometimes I pay attention, but most of the times I don't, so that helps me. Yeah, question number 2 was soft bed or hard bed, which I think we've asked in another video. So this is where we are. This is where we are. I'm going to take a sip of water. I have this one annoying thread that keeps catching my eye. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and knock out the rest of these half square triangles. We have 8 more seams to sew. We're going to be sewing right where they join. That seam right there with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So here's our first one. And working just right straight through each of the other flying geese. If you have a hard time keeping those fabrics lined up, you might want to throw some pins in there. That might be helpful. We're just doing some chain stitching. Four more left to do. Let's move on to the next one. Do you prefer it pitch black in your room when you sleep, or do you like a nightlight? Do you like it to be really dark, or do you like a not light? What got me started quilting? Well, years ago, my aunt, my Nana's sister, my great aunt, was a lifetime quilter. She made quilts. I don't remember a time that she didn't make quilts. And when she passed, my uncle let me come and get bags of her fabric and um, my ruler and some quilting books from her stuff. And that's when I made my first quilt. I made him a quilt with her fabrics as a thank you for giving me so much of her stuff. But I had a hard time. I had a hard time. That was like 20 some years ago. And I have a hard time learning from books. There was no YouTube back then. And so I had a really hard time because I am a visual learner. Like videos helped me so much. And there wasn't that back then. So I struggled in the beginning. I just started actually binding my quilts like with a traditional quilt binding like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I went years without binding my quilts. I found some other way to finish them. All right, we're on our last one. I'm going to get these pressed and then I'll take a quick measurement and tell you how big my flying geese are. So we have a great big line of them. Great big line of them. I like it predominantly dark in my room when I sleep. Although a nightlight is nice when you get up in the middle of the night and have to venture to the restroom, right? I'm just cutting these little connecting threads. Makes it easier for me to press these. And when I press them, I will be pressing again to the smaller triangle, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and get these pressed. I'll take a measurement and then I'm going to check for questions and give everybody a chance to catch up. So we should have, what, 8 of these? 8 flying geese units. I probably could have gone with a little bit of a darker pink. That's okay. We're going to bring them in. All of the flying geese up at the top are pointing in one direction. And then on the other side of the block, they'll be going in the opposite direction. Up and down. All right, I've got one more. Down. This one's a little crazy. That's all right. Okay, so let's give one of these flying geese a little measurement here. We have 3 inches tall and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches long. That's how big mine came out. I wish Kayla could go see Nana and Katie. I wish I could go see Nana and Katie. Nana and Katie are in heaven. But wouldn't it be lovely to see them? Me too, Kayla. Me too. Don't get me crying. Don't do it. Don't do it. I would love to see them too. I sure would. Oh, goodness. Don't get me going. We're not doing a repeat of yesterday. Yes, Miss Beverly, my shirt says Body by Chips and Guac. You know, Body by Jake. You know those shirts that say Body by Jake, or there's workouts called Body by Jake, I think it's called. My body is by Chips and Guac. Cordelia, normally we come on about the same time between like 12 and 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Bye, Miss Kayla. I love you, Miss Kayla. Have a good Monday afternoon. Have a good Monday afternoon. This is where we are with our block. All 8 flying geese units are made. I'm going to give everybody a chance to catch up. Oh, Lynn, you say Kayla is one of your all-time favorite names. Yeah. I'm going to give everybody a chance to catch up. Here is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 5th this or that. Do you snore or do you not snore? Sadly to say, I snore. I do. I snore. Harlan says he does not snore, but he does. I'll admit it, I snore. I know I do. I've woken myself up snoring, so I can't deny that I don't. Janice, I'm so glad. You know, I've been so proud of you, Miss Janice, looking at your blocks over on the Facebook. I've been so proud of you. How big are the geese? I think it was 3 inches. 1, 2, 3 inches by 5.5. Wanda, you didn't think you did snore until your husband told you differently. Yeah, I've woken myself up snoring, so I know I do. Right, Hazel? I think everybody probably snores. You just don't know it because you're asleep, right? Some probably snore worse than others. Okay, I'm hoping you've had a chance to catch up. We're going to start putting together these units, right? So we can flip one flying geese right onto the next one. We're going to sew the seam that connects the 2 of them. just like that. Just like that. Throw a little mark right in there. We're going to get these 4 seams done. Do you snore or not snore? That is the question. All right, we're going to line this up. You can throw some pins in there if that's going to help you keep everything lined up. So there's the first one. Getting them lined up. Here's our second one. At this point, you could go ahead and trim off these little tails everywhere. If you want to take some time and do that, you could go ahead and do that. And I've got one last to do. So there's lots of little different sections with this block, but I don't know that any of them are extremely difficult. There's just a lot of them to do. All right, here we go. I'm going to cut these apart and give them a press, and we'll lay them back out. Snip, snip, snip. Hi Joanne, your first time watching, your video quality is not the best. What is the mark for? Which mark? Because I'd love to help you. Oh, the mark. Oh, okay, the mark in the seams. That helps me remember and keep track of which seam I'm sewing. Because sometimes if I'm not paying really close attention, I flip my pieces in the transfer between the mat and the sewing machine. And then I have to pick it apart and sew the right seam. So I just make a little mark to keep myself organized by the time I get over to the sewing machine. Here's our second unit. I'll give these a measure too here in just a second. Here's our third. Actually, they should be the same size as the little strips, right? 5.5 by 5.5. Remember, up and down. Actually, for you, it'll be up and down. with your little triangles, your little flying geese. 5.5 by 5.5. Yeah, y'all found that helpful. Me too. Me too. Helps me helps me so much because I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally sewn the wrong side. All right, do you snore or not snore? Our next one, are you a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper? Just gonna give everybody a chance to catch up, hopefully. Are you a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper? This morning, something really weird happened. Scared us. It scared us. Do you see the little brown shelf? Right there. That was up on the wall right there. On top of that brown shelf was a great big mason jar full of buttons. And the mason jar, I lost the lid to that years ago, so it was just open. Great big jar full of buttons. And it had some other things in that shelf. And on the other side of the wall is our closet and then our bedroom. And I bet you I hit the snooze alarm 5 or 6 times this morning. And I had just hit the snooze alarm for the 7th time. I'm snuggled up in bed and a huge crash. At first I thought it sounded like it came from downstairs. So I was like, is my mom okay? Did she trip? Right? So I jump out of bed. Me and Harlan both do. We run to the hallway and look, my mom's there. I said, are you okay? She's like, yeah. Are you okay? I said, yeah. So we looked for something all over. We came in here and buttons had gone all across the floor. That shelf had fallen off the wall. Nothing broke, thank goodness, but it took us a minute to clean up all the buttons. That was weird, right? Right after I hit the snooze for the 7th time. Huge loud crash. I'm usually a pretty heavy sleeper though. All right, everybody. All right, we're going to do some chain piecing with our rows. I want you to see the sections of our block are just like this. Just like that. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work across the block like this. I'm going to flip over their brown fabric. I'm going to flip over, although it's not really necessary, with the white fabric because it's the same on both sides. Oh yeah, that's the prettiest side. I'm going to flip that pretty side over and flip the brown fabric right over. We're going to sew all of these seams with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I know, Sally, that's what I said too. He's tired of me hitting the snooze. I've got too much to do today to keep hitting the snooze button on my cell phone. Yes, it was time to get up. That was the first thing I said too. All right, we're going to sew these 3 seams. There's our first one. There's the second, and we've got one more. I'm going to take this off of the sewing machine, but I'm going to stay right here. We're going back up to this first section. Y'all, many of these blocks are made exactly the same way, right? We're going to flip over this brown piece right in the middle, finger press that down, bring this over. I should stay away from the snooze button, but I am guilty. I hit the snooze too much. Let's check to make sure the placement's right. Flip it over. Line up that edge, and we're going to sew this seam. We're in that middle row. I'm going to flip the white fabric over, finger press it down in place, and bring over the brown strip. Line that up and sew it. And we're on the last section. Let's finger press that brown fabric down. Let's make sure our geese are going in the same direction. Flip it over and I'll line it up. There we go. So here's my block in 3 different sections. Miss Wanda, yes, these are called leaders and enders, and they help keep my thread from pulling down into the bobbin section when you first start sewing. They also save lots of thread, especially when you're doing lots of pieces. If you look up leaders and enders here on YouTube, you'll find lots of videos all about it. And yeah, it helps me a lot. When I press my seams, I'm going to be pressing towards the brown because these seams just naturally want to lay down that way, right? I'm going to get these 3 sections pressed and we're going to take a break for just a minute. So my points are a little whackety whack today. I kept my points. I lost my points. That's all right. It's the same exact way down here. Oh no, you know what? I might have my points when we join everything together. I might have spoke too soon because we still got one more seam right in there, right? This middle section, I am pressing, let's see, towards the brown, just like this. Out. That's going to help me nest up my seams right in the middle of this block. So there we go. I might have spoke too soon. I might keep those points in there. Wanda, your thread is nesting. You might want to change your needle or change the type of thread that you're using. Just going through. I think I've caught up on everything. Our next, this or that. Do you like a thin blanket or a thick blanket? Me and Harlan, we are so opposites when it comes to our sleeping, what we prefer and what we don't. I like a thin blanket. He likes a thick blanket. We have a thick blanket. I like a thin blanket, so a lot of times I'll just, since he likes it, I scoot it on off to his side when I get hot, and I use like a sheet or something. Yeah, thread nesting. You might want to change the type of thread you're using, see if that helps. You might want to change the type of needle you're using, see if that helps. You might want to try using leaders and enders because that cuts away a lot of the thread nesting issues for me. And try those 3 things. Try to make sure your bobbin area is nice and cleaned out. Really, 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 really well. And the little housing unit for your bobbin, make sure you get all that out too. Yes, Sally, they do say opposites attract. We don't agree on a lot of our sleeping habits at all. We've I we've compromised a lot. There's been lots of compromising. Although I'm going to say we did the hard bed. He uses lots of pillows that end up on my side. And we have a thick, thick, thick blanket. He's winning on the compromising of the sleeping habits. That's all right. That's all right. Our block now is in 3 sections. We're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to flip this middle section right over. And when we do that, we're going to try our bestest to line up these 2 seams with the 2 seams with the black piece going the opposite direction. That's what we're going to try to focus on. And then staying nice and straight, as accurate as you can with that 1/4 inch seam from one side to the other. Line those seams up as best as you can. While we're here, I'm just going to finger press that middle section right over, and I'm bringing in the last section. This will be our last seam for this block. Make sure your flying geese are going in the opposite direction. Flip it on over. And as soon as I get the seam pressed, I'm going to be checking for questions. You might want to throw some pins in there if that's helpful for you. All right, just a little bit more and we're done. Okie doke. I'm going to press this. I'm going to get it pressed. I already know right in the middle of my block, I saw it, that one of my points is off. I'm okay with that. set those seams, and then let's get it pressed nice and pretty. Do you sleep with socks on or no socks? Socks or no socks? I'm a no socks. Oh, I have to take my socks off even if I have cold feet. I can't sleep with socks on. Socks or no socks? And the big reveal of our block. Let's cool it off for a second. There we go. It's a little wonkety. I'm going to have to square this one up a little bit, right? There we go. And I got my points mostly. This one's off a little bit. That's okay. That's all right. I still love her. I still love her. This is the finished Flying Geese up and down block. If you use this block in multiples, how do you press your seams when connecting the blocks? I'll flip this over. I'll show you how I pressed my seams. This is what it looks like, my seams on the back. You could press your seams open, right? If you're someone who prefers to press their seams open, you could certainly do that. For me, it already takes me forever to press to the side. But if you're someone who presses your seams open, then you could certainly do that. This is how I pressed mine. I'm hoping you could see that. So you will have these little thicker sections right through here at your Flying Geese units. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. They will be even thicker when you join connecting blocks, right? So you could put a sashing in between your blocks if you wanted to reduce the thickness right in these areas. You could throw a sashing, a little border around each block to help with that. Just scrolling through. Connie, I just got a message from Connie who says I could name this block Connie because she's a little off, but she's still wonderful, right? I don't think you're off at all, Connie. No. No, I don't. I do think I could do a better job pressing this block. I think I could do that. Let's repress it for a second. Repressing. How often do you change your needle? That's a great question for everybody. How often do y'all change your needles? Because you probably don't want to do what I do. You probably don't want to do what I do. I'm a tightwad when it comes to that stuff. Replacing blades and needles. I don't do it as often as I should. Thank you so much for praying for our travels. Yeah, we're leaving in the morning. Leaving in the morning. What fabric would you use for the sashing Brown? You could. You could use brown, right? That would be pretty. Well, you could really use any of them, right? You could almost tie in the white and make that more of an accent in the quilt. You know. Connie says when it breaks. Pretty much. That's me. But Miss Wanda changed her needle last week. And Catakip says after every project she changes her needle. So Sally, I agree. I think, you know what? The pink would be gorgeous in this block with the color combination, but I needed to pick a darker pink for more of a contrast. I totally agree. Sandra says when her needle breaks, that's when she changes it. Kathy says very seldom. She needs to get better at it. It is soft colors, right, Celeste? I think it's pretty, but if you really want that wow factor, I think I needed to go darker with the pink. I'll think about it, Lynn. Yeah, I try to stay off of topics that might be, uh, sensitive, but we shall see. Yeah, so there you go. You got lots and lots of suggestions on when to change the needle. Wanda says, when you see my block, notice the strawberry ice cream cones. They are cute. I will. I'll take a look at that later this afternoon. Yes, thank you for the prayers. Thank you for the prayers. We're heading up. So, on that note, just in case you missed yesterday, so we are going to take a short little break, but I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to make it up to you. Let's switch on over to this last screen. Today is video number 42. We've gone 42 days live in a row. Thank you so much for sticking in with me. Video number 43 will be on Saturday. Saturday, we're not sewing a block, but I'm going to give you information and we're going to hang out and chit chat for a little bit. I'm going to give you all the information for 6 blocks, what the blocks look like, and all the pieces and their sizes for 6 blocks. And then Sunday, the next day, Mother's Day, we're going to have a blockathon to make up the blocks that we're missing from Tuesday to Sunday. Should be a really fun time. It's a 12-hour drive, Miss Hazel. 12 hours. We're packing a basket full of food so we don't have to stop for food. Usually, our normal trip up, we stop to eat lunch and we stop for dinner. We're not doing that. So I'm making some sandwiches. So yeah, Sunday, mark this on your calendar. Sunday, May the 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You might have to convert that to your time zone. We're going to start. It might take us 2 hours. It might take us 4 hours. I don't know how long it's going to take us to make 6 quilt blocks. We might move along a little bit faster than we ordinarily do. But I don't want to speed it up too much because I know some of y'all are sewing with me at the same time. So get some snacks ready for this weekend. I know I'm not going 4 hours without eating a snack. I can already tell you that. I'm going to have a snack lined up. And I'll have a Gatorade and some water and probably a coffee, since I got a coffee warmer that'll keep it hot the whole time now. Thank you, Lisa. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time on Mother's Day. Sue, Harlan went out this morning and got all the non-perishable stuff. So he got all that today. In the morning, right before we head up, we're getting the non-perishable stuff and packing that down and icing it up for the drive. Did you check the border for, yeah, we can get into Vermont. We're good to travel. Actually, I saw on the news this morning, Vermont is lessening restrictions today, along with like 7 other states. We're good to go. We're all good to go. Yeah, we're going to have fun. But the thing is, it's not like our normal trip, right? In the summer and at Christmas, sometimes in between there, we go up for a week. It's vacation time, spending time with his family, and we go to quilt shops, we go to antique stores and thrift stores, and we go to local markets. There's not going to be any of that fun stuff happening. So that's kind of disappointing. None of the fun stuff. And even when we see his parents, we're not going in their house. And when we see them, it'll be at a distance outside. We're keeping it safe. But yeah, taking precautions. The main reason is to bring some supplies up there that they're having a hard time getting. So I wish we could go to fabric shops up there. They have some of the coolest quilting shops. They have some really great bakeries. And some really great candy shops. Y'all know I'm going to be upset when I have to drive by those and can't stop in there. At the end of the summer, when hopefully everything will be back to normal by then, right? When we take that trip, we'll go to do all the fun stuff we usually do. Catekip wants to know, do states have border control? So in your state, are they monitoring your borders? I know we can leave the state of Virginia. Thank you everybody for moderating my video today. I appreciate you so, so much. Lynn says the next few days are going to be boring. Maybe I'll clean or something. Lynn, I know. I'm so sorry. I am sorry. I'm going to make it up to you on Sunday. Entering Montana, you have to do a 14-day quarantine. I believe that's the same way with Vermont. That's why we're not going in their house. We're not hugging. We're not getting close at all. Although Vermont was on the news this morning, they're lessening the restrictions. But, it's better be safe than sorry. We're going to still do the distancing. We're not going in their house. We're taking all the precautions still. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Yeah. It's really just like, we have a purpose. We're going to do the purpose, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to pick back up on this purpose, right? It's just a couple of days. All right, everybody. Yeah, I'll share pictures over on Facebook. I'm bringing my computer, so maybe we can do some stuff on Creative Crew Group, the Zooms or something. Tonight we'll be Zooming from 8 to 9 on Creative Crew Group if you want to join in. I wanted to let everybody know about Creative Crew Group. There's a link down in the description box below. If you're already a member and you send out requests to your friends to invite them to join, you might want to give them a heads up so that they know that that's there, because not everybody checks their Facebook every day, right? And there's 2 security questions that you have to ask or we can't let you in, right? Just a little tiny security measure to make sure we're keeping the group, right. They have to answer those 2 security questions. Right now we have 9 people waiting to be joined in, and they haven't answered the security questions. And after 24 hours, we're cleaning it out. And you'll have to invite them again. So if you've sent out invites to your friends, call them up or send them a private message and say, hey, I invited you to Creative Crew group. It's a fun group. You're going to have a lot of fun. Go on your Facebook, answer the 2 security questions, and join all of the fun so you don't miss out. Give them a heads up. Let them know you've sent them an invite. Yeah, Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have some snacks. So, y'all, I will be crunching on something at some point. But I can't go 4 hours without eating a snack. Should be a lot of fun Sunday. So, as we finish up for today, here is my flying geese up and down. I missed some points. And I think I could have picked a darker pink. But you know what? I love my block anyway. I'm not going to remake her. I'm putting her right in my quilt along with all the other blocks. I will probably trim these little tags off the sides. But yeah, I love it. She's going on the wall. I look forward to seeing y'all on Saturday. I might pop in and do a live. We might just chit chat. I won't have my sewing stuff with me, but I might pop in. So if you subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification, make sure to change the setting to all, then you'll get notified if I do that, if I'm able to go live just to chit chat with y'all. That would be awesome. If not, if for some reason I can't do that, I will definitely be looking forward to Saturday when we can catch back up. All right, everybody. I love y'all so much. Thanks for spending part of your Monday with me. Thank you so, so much. I don't take your time for granted, and I enjoy our time together. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. For sure, I'll see you on Saturday. Bye, everybody.